Okay, guys, so I'm going to take you through Photopea just to give you, some tips and tricks on what to do for your video game cover. This is a complete video game cover. I'm not going to, do the entire thing, but I'll just do parts of it just to give you an idea of like what you can do. And I could tell you every single thing is made from scratch except all the pictures and the like the Just Dance logos and the logos over here. But all of this is made from scratch. This is made from scratch, and I'll show you exactly how you could do that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, open up Photopea. You should already have a document made because I asked you to do that yesterday. But if you didn't, obviously click on New Project. You're going to rename it your last name, first initial underscore video game cover. And then you're going to change it from pixels to inches. And we are at 10.75 by 7.2 inches height. And then the DPI is 300. And then you hit create. So there's our canvas. The first thing that you guys should do is if you don't have rulers right here, you should. But if you don't, you could, click on view and then go to rulers, and it will pop up for you. Another thing is, it might look different. Like it might be in like this, because that's what it was for me the first time. So to do that, you could double click. I mean, for a Mac, I have to double click. You might be able to, control click, and then this will pop up for you. And then you could change it to inches. We wanted it in inches because our document is in inches and it'll be easier to set up the guides this way. So we need to create a spine. So the thing is, we want to, be able to pull out a ruler to place two guides, and then this is essentially our spine. Like we're not going to actually make, a spine right now. So what you can do is you could click on the ruler here and then drag it out. So as you can see, as I'm going along, X says 2. So this is the number of where we have to go. So the first one, we want to drop it at exactly 5 inches. So I'm just going to choose right there. Perfect. So that's at 5 inches. And then the next one is going to be at 5.750 inches. So I'm just going to get it to there. So 7, 5, 0, come on. There we go, perfect. So now here's my spine. What you can do is, usually, I guess they don't have it. So usually like we could lock our guides, but it's okay. Just be careful that you don't move it when you're designing. That's all, okay? So now, the first thing that you probably want to start off with is your template of the video game, that design that you're making. So like, if you're designing for PS4 or PS5 or Xbox or whatever, you're going to need to make that template essentially. If you want, you could go to Google and you could look up, PS4 template design. So PS4 template design. And then let's go to images, and then there it is. Now, the thing is, you do not want to just use this because I have had students, so many students in the past, try to import it and it crashes their program on Photoshop. Now, Photoshop is a much better program than Photopea, so I would assume that it would do exactly the same thing. So honestly, it's not even worth it, guys. It takes, like, literally this part takes like 2 seconds, and then this part will take a little bit longer, but it's really not that complicated. I made all of this from scratch, and I'll show you. So, like, let's see. Also, like, the best thing to do is to put things in folders. It makes it so much easier. But here's my barcode. The barcode I got from online, so that's fine. But then all that text I wrote all that out. I just, went to a game, I looked at it, I copied exactly what it said, and I typed everything out. And then just behind it is just a regular rectangle shape. And then this is some more text that I wrote. And again, another rectangle shape. And then these are all the logos. So yes, I got these from, the internet, but I placed them, wherever they needed to be. So yeah, so that's that. And then the warning, same thing. Like I made all this too. I actually wrote out separate sentences because it needed to fit in a weird way. So I just did it that way. And then I made that triangle myself. So like I said, I did all of this myself. So like I said, it is possible. So I really would like you guys to do it. And yeah, so then that's that. And then what else? Let's see. Oh, these are the images for the background. So just showing you guys that. But yeah, so like I said, I want you guys to make it because it's not worth, honestly, it really is not worth trying to just put this in there. It will crash the program for sure. So just make it. It's so easy. So like I said, we'll do the top part right now. So all you need to do is you just need to get a rectangle. And then you just click and drag and you make a rectangle. So right now it's red. It's fine. I can leave it that way because the thing is we have a gradient here in here anyway. So we just need to add a gradient. So what we can do is we could double click on the shape to go to our blending options. And then we could click on gradient overlay. And then we just need to change the direction of the gradient. So I just angled it differently. And then just obviously the color. So I want to go for like a darker blue. And then, I mean, it's up to you guys, like what colors you want to do. I mean, obviously, you want to match like whatever game console you're doing. So I want to be in the blue range for, PS4. So, that kind of looks nice. Maybe I'll go just like I kind of like it lighter. So I'll go like that. And then I could even, so I'm going to click OK. And then I could even, move my gradient over a little bit more. So it's more blue, over here and then, goes over. And then you click OK. So there's my gradient. Actually, I think I want to make this a little bit closer to, yeah, there we go. That's better. I wanted just to be a little bit closer. Like I didn't want it to stand out as much. I just want to see it get lighter though. So yeah, that's much better. And then click OK. So yeah, so there's our gradient. Actually, I just want to move it over a little bit more. I'm sorry guys, I'm annoying. I like to make things, the way I like them. Okay, so I'm gonna just move it back to where it was, like in the center. So we'll just put 50 and then click OK. And then OK, and there you go. And then same thing, we need to make another rectangle here. And then same thing, we just need to put a gradient as well. Actually, no, I think it just needs to be the dark color. So then what we can do here is double click and do a color overlay and then change the color. And we could click here to match exactly on that edge and then click OK. So now I literally made it in 2 seconds. Now, this is where you do want to bring in like the PS4, like you want the logo. So I already found an image that works for me, so I'm just going to bring this same image in. If you find a different one of just the logo itself, that's fine too. Again, guys, do whatever works for you. So I'm just going to bring in this image here, and then I'm just going to place it, and then I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to copy the logo. So I could use my magic wand tool because it's all white. It's so easy. And then I could click and hold shift and it will select the entire thing for me. And then you could try your best to get that part. See, like sometimes it doesn't work that well, especially because we're dealing with color. Honestly, you don't even really need it. It's fine, no big deal. So then we're going to hit Control and paste, copy and paste. And then I'm going to zoom out. I don't need this anymore. And then my logo is, oh, wrong thing. Wrong layer. So make sure you're on the correct layer, and there it is right there. Then I might just resize it just a smidge bigger. So I could always hit Control T, hold Shift when you resize, and make it bigger. And then what you can do is we need to make a duplicate and place it, differently. So I'm looking and the PS4 is going that way, but then the logo stays the same. So but it's a little bit smaller. So what we can do is we can, be selected on this layer and use our rectangle select tool and literally go over the area that we needed and then, copy paste. So now I have a duplicate of just that by itself. And then I'm going to make it smaller. So I'm going to, Control T, make it a little bit smaller and hit enter. And then I'm going to center it. And then PS4, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go back to my layer and then I'm going to, drag over and copy paste. And then this one though, I'm going to rotate. So I'll rotate it and then I will also, make it a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to make this exactly 90 degrees. And then I want to make it tinier. So again, hold shift when you resize so it stays within its proportions. And there you go. So literally it took me like maybe a few minutes just to do this and it looks exactly like this. I mean, if you really want to go into detail and put the lines, like some games are different, like some of them do have that white line, some of them don't. So whatever you guys want, it's up to you. And then if you want to add on only on PlayStation, go for it. Totally up to you. Some of them have it, some of them don't. So whatever you want to do, I'm just going to leave mine like that. It's good enough. Then we're going to start working. Oh, also, just be aware of, your like layers now. You're going to be getting a lot of layers. So I would definitely suggest, trying to rename them. So this is PS4 logo. And then this is the PS4. And then logo. PS4. I'm just going to keep it a little different so I know which one's which. So like I said, you want to start renaming your layers so then you could keep track of what you're doing there. So now we're going to start designing. I could do this, bottom back part later. Not a big deal. But I want to just, show you guys some things that you could do, with some of the photos that you have. So I went and already got some images that I wanted to use. So I'm going to just bring it in. So the first image that I found was a galaxy. I really like the colors in this. So that's what I was going for. And then to make my image different, rather than, have it. Oh, and also guys, make sure that you have the layers in order. So like right now it's in front of everything. So I need this to go behind and even behind the shapes. So then it goes behind everything just like that. So you want it to be closest to your background layer. Then I'm going to hit Control T. I'm going to resize it. I could actually resize it to just fit the whole canvas because like I said, I'm manipulating it anyway. So it doesn't matter that the proportions are a little weird now. And then I'm going to go to filter. There are so many filters in here, guys. Like, play around with it. Like, maybe, I'm just saying, like, maybe I want to try a radial blur, see what that looks like. So give it a second. So yeah, so there you go. So like that kind of looks cool. Like it kind of, especially like since it's the galaxy, like it looks like it's supposed to be like that. So like I said, you want to try things, try and see what works for you. For my case, I don't want to do that, but that might be an option. For me, I want to do the crystallize. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to, really exaggerate and crystallize this background. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to click OK. So that's my background now. And like I said, you don't have to, do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just showing you different examples. Like I said, there's just different kinds of blur. There's distorting. There's, noise. There's other types of pixelating. Like there's, you could do a mosaic. So like something like that. Like, you don't have to follow exactly what I do. I'm just, picking things that I like. You could do clouds or sharpening or stylizing or, there's so many other things that you could do here. Another thing is like you don't want to use the original images. So like I said, that's my background image. And then I found another image that I'm going to use majority of the things from it. So I'm going to bring this into PhotoPay. So, okay, like I could have just totally used this whole picture for the background, but I don't want to do that because I want to make it my own. I want to make it different. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some things from it and then I'm going to change it and manipulate it to make it my own. So, like I said, I'm going to use my quick selection tool, and then I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to go for the disco ball first. So, on my selection tool, quick selection tool, I'm going to just start. So it's asking if the smart object may be rasterized. So rasterize it. That's fine. And then I'm going to just start clicking. See, yeah, you have to be careful because sometimes the quick selection tool doesn't work. So in this case, it's not going to work. So I'm going to deselect. I'm going to go use the magnetic lasso tool instead. So I'm just going to click and then there we go. And I'm just going to draw around. This one I actually might not work either. All right. Last but not least, there's so many options that you guys could do. So this is good because, like I said, you could see that some options don't work, and there are better options. So the last option that you could really do is use the ellipse select tool, and then you can, draw a circle over it. Try your best. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like I just did that. It looks crazy. However, what you can do is you could go to select and you could go to transform selection. So now I could get it exactly to the edge of the circle as best as I can. So I'm going to go that way, this way, and then I'm going to come out a little bit of this way, and that looks good. So now I'm going to hit enter, and now I have my selection. I'm just going to move it just a smidge over. Okay. Then I'm going to hit, Control C, Control V, and then I'm just going to minimize that picture for a second. Wait, where'd you go? Hold on, wait a second. Oh no, did I not do it? I don't think it copied. Oh, of course. All right, let's try that one more time. My bad. So again, make a selection as best as you can, and then you could go to select, transform selection, and then just fix it real quick. Don't move it. I moved it by accident, so that's probably why it didn't work. So get it, exactly how you want it, and then you'll hit enter, and then now Control C, Control V, and there it is by itself. So now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to place my new disco ball where I want it. So I kind of want it like right there, okay? And then like I said, then I kind of want it to hang from something. Like here it doesn't look like it's hanging from anything. I myself want to make something to have it hang from something. So I could just use a rectangle again and then change. I know I want it to be black, so I'll just change it. And then, I'll make a little rectangle. So, I want to make it somewhat skinny so it looks realistic and that it is attached to it. And then I'm going to center it. And then we just need to make sure that it is behind the disco ball. And it is already behind here, so that's good too. So when we get off, now it looks like it's actually hanging from the thing. I just need to move it over and center it a little bit better. There we go. So there you go. Like I was telling you guys, on when I was doing the sketch, I do want to make this kind of like glow a little bit more. So I could go into the blending options, and then I could do, maybe I want it like a little bit of a stroke. So I'll add a little stroke. I want to make it white just for it to like pop out a little bit more. And then we could do an outer glow. I'm just going to change the glow to be more white and then click OK. And then I'm going to change it to normal. And then I'm just going to, spread it and make it a little bit bigger. So you'll get it to the way you want it. So I'm going to like just spread it a little bit more. Let's see. I want it to spread more. Like why isn't, I don't know why it's doing that now. We'll do it like that, and then I want to drop my opacity a little bit. Yeah, so that looks better. Yeah, that looks good. Just maybe a little higher. All right, and then you click OK. So now I have my, my disco ball. Eventually, I could bring in my Just Dance text, so on and so forth. But right now I'm just going to work from this image. I'm going to just copy and paste one person, and then you guys you get the picture. So again, I'm going to go to this image. Like I was saying, I kind of want like this kind of motion in front. So I'm going to select him first. I could use my magic wand tool because he's all black. So it'll be easy to just select him real quick. Also, make sure you're on the correct layer. I was not. So there we go. Now he's selected, and then Control C, Control V. I'm just going to minimize this again just so it's out of our way. And then I'm going to move him and put him front and center. And then I'm also going to make him really big. Not that big. Maybe that big. All right, and then I need to move him forward because right now he's behind everything. So I need to move him in front of the disco ball just like that. And then I'm going to center him a little bit more. And then same thing, like I want to show that that he's not floating. So I'm going to make so like in here I have like a little like underneath circle. So I'm just going to do that real quick. So I could just go to my ellipse tool. I could make a oval shape. And I want to make it look flat so it looks like it's actually like a shadow underneath him. And then I'm going to just place it, you know, right underneath. And then I could just drop my opacity. And then when I click off, see, it looks like there's like a little shadow underneath him. So yeah, so like it's basically I repeated the process, guys, for, you know, these people. I just copy pasted them, moved them, and arranged them where I wanted them. Then, you know, I got the Just Dance text from the internet because that's their logo. I added Disco Revolution. I found a, you know, a type or a text font that I liked. So I used that. I got, you know, the E for Everyone logo. I put that in there. The 35 disco hits, I wrote all that out. So, you know, if I were to zoom in, I actually have all the like disco hits, you know, from the 70s. So, you know, you want to actually write out information. Like, don't just like scribble or like, you know, put random text. Like, you actually want to put it like, you know, solid information there. And then I just found like these images from the internet, and then I really liked, you know, like I wanted to replicate that. So I basically made squares and just made the picture go inside of it. So to do that real quick, I'll show you in this file right here. So again, I could just make, you know, a rectangle. And then what I could actually do is I could just duplicate that layer. So I could just duplicate layer. And then I'm just going to move this layer up to over here. And I'm going to move it over where that square is. And then basically you just could either, you know, Alt and click, it'll go inside. If that doesn't work for you, you could go to layer clipping mask, and then it goes inside. So same thing. So that's kind of how I got that. And then I just put a new box in front of it with the picture. And then, excuse me guys, a little tired here. And then, yeah, so like, I mean, like I said, it's up to you guys. Like, you want to be able to design, you really want to be able to make it different. You're not copying. Like if I were to go on Google right now and look up Just Dance Disco Revolution or whatever, you know, you don't see anything. If I were to just, you know, do Just Dance video game, you know, this is what pops up. So like, can you guys notice that, you know, their designs and my design is totally different? I mean, obviously, like, you know, the Just Dance is the same because that's, you know, that's their logo. So I'm going to use it. But like, there's really no version of like a disco that I see here. So like I said, that's the whole goal. I don't want you guys copying, you know, like especially my, you know, my NBA games or like my Madden games. Those are always the offenders. So let's see, NBA video game. So like if I see something like this and that's your cover and the only thing you changed was like 2K like 2020 or 2021, we got a problem. I want you to do something different. Like I want you to, you know, push, you know, your limits and see what you could do creatively and, you know, make it different, make it your own. So that's what I meant by, you know, doing something different. Like one year I actually had a student who literally had this exact same cover and changed the name and then just had like a different guy. And I was like, this is plagiarizing. So we want to avoid that, okay? So please make sure you avoid this. So yeah, that's like pretty much it, guys. Like I just wanted to like take you through, you know, some things just to make sure, you know, you guys are on the right track of what to do. And you know, that's kind of how you do it. So if you have any questions, you know, you could always reach me, and good luck.